Not all men who watch child pornography are pedophiles, or at least according to this guy. This guy right there is John Grisham, an author of many books, many thrillers, and during his latest promotional tour for his last book, Grey Mountain. This is a claim he made in an interview in the Telegraph, I believe. And this article here by Natalie Robermed goes on to talk about this, and I found it on Forbes. So, millionaire author John Grisham says not all men who watch child porn are pedophiles. So, he's complaining a little bit of a witch hunt, I'm paraphrasing, that America is doing right now seems to be doing on the pedophiles. I hope he's doing. And he's saying that America is unjustly jailing too many citizens. For viewing child pornography. There's a citation here, so those are his words. We have prisons now filled with guys my age, 60-year-old white men in prison who've never harmed anybody, would never touch a child. Yeah, right. I don't know about that, but yet somehow they found themselves on a child pornography website. And he goes on to continue here. But they got online one night and started surfing around, probably had too much to drink or whatever, and pushed the wrong buttons, went too far, and got into child porn. Well, that's a beautifully structured little justification, Mr. Writer. So first, two things. You do not end up most likely in jail, in prison, prosecuted as a pedophile just because somehow one night you went behind this veil and you peeked into something you are not supposed to. So it doesn't happen like this. Most likely these people were, even though they never passed in some action, thanks God, they were found with compromising pictures. They were found with compromising material, or at least engaged into an interaction with an underage girl or boy that happened to be a police officer who was setting them up. Okay, so it went a little bit way beyond a drunken night where somehow you stumbled upon this type of material. And then, no matter how drunk you are, I'm sorry because, trust me on that, talking from experience, you do not somehow land on a pedophile website without having the curiosity to go there. And if you find yourself even on your most drunk night with that type of curiosity, then there's something wrong with you. You gotta analyze it. But I like the way you phrased it here, you see. We have prisons now filled with guys my age, 60-year-old white men. So it's totally relating to them for some reason. There's an identification going on here. Like, what type of emotional state does one have to be in? What type of mindset do they need to be in order to go in that space of their head and somehow empathize with them? Well, the only times I am doing this in my own life is if it something echoes with myself, and I believe this issue echoes with John Grisham. My suspicion is that John Grisham likes peeking through the veil. He likes, while his wife is asleep, thinking he's working on his next novel. He likes to peek behind the forbidden curtain and watch child pornography in his late nights, thinking he's gonna justify it under the influence of alcohol. And now the prosecution that has been going on the pedophiles and seems to be lurking even more strongly at the horizon, on the horizon, is threatening that péché mignon of John Grisham. I suspect this guy is one of those passive pedophiles. It's just a speculation, but it's the only reason why he would justify and try to find very convoluted excuses to people who are actually behind bars for pedophilia. So I don't know about this John Grisham. I didn't mind some of his work, but not gonna be into it. That's for sure. And it's so funny with this, with most of the artists, with lots of them at least, as we get to see through time. Um, they all have some type of twisted and weird tendencies, and it's and lots of them happen to be from the left as well, and but they call themselves liberals and progressives, and I don't see where is the progression into trying to justify pedophilia, into lowering the age of consent like they're doing it right now in France, which might be at 13 years old. So that's not being a progressive, and that's being extremely digressive, morally digressive. And the only progression I see in that is the progression of evil. And it's well, I believe that this type of claims, like even a small one like this one, the guy trying to justify an action like going on a child porn website, needs to be addressed when it's happening, because otherwise it's the moral decay. Everything starts with that space of justification and debate, Some things, or at least that one thing, protecting children's innocence, should be very clean cut. We shouldn't even be saying that it's a controversial subject, because a controversy means there is a room for negotiation. I don't believe like we should negotiate with those notions. And so that's about all. I just wanted to share that article. You can find it on Forbes, and I believe the whole interview is on the Telegraph. Yeah. So take care, guys.